Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Bakalova, and I'm a co-founder at Career Pathway Institute. We help professional immigrants to succeed in the United States. And for these purposes, we have community and we created the program Design Your Career program. If you want to get more details, check the links below the video. And today we want to talk about job market. Job market is still challenging. Applicants have to make more efforts just to get the job. They have to send more resumes and they have to tailor each of them just to get the job. And they have to be very specific about this. And of course, nowadays, we live in the AI era and people want to use AI as much as it possible. But how job seekers can use AI tools effectively to find the job? This is our topic for today. And today I invited a special guest, Puneet. Hi, Puneet.
Hi Anna, how are you?
Yeah, he is co-founder at AI Career Copilot, they call themselves, and his company is Careerflow.ai. He is an entrepreneur, software engineer, and he is also a mentor. Puneet, can you tell your story about yourself and why you decided to start this startup?
Yeah, of course, happy to share, and thanks for having me, Anna, on your show today. In terms of my story, I started as a teenage entrepreneur. I used to build games and apps for the BlackBerry phones. So nowadays we're all using iPhone and Android, but there was a time when we were using BlackBerry. Since then, I started working at a variety of tech companies, some of the bigger, FANG type companies as well. And across the way, I was always mentoring kind of people that was just, 1 or 2 years behind me. They would ask me questions like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And during COVID-19, actually, the mentorship aspect really picked up because, there was a lot of international immigrants who, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, had to, find a job within 90 days. They had internships rescinded, things like that. So me and my now co-founder Nikita Gupta, we kind of got together and just did whatever we can to, give back in terms of mentoring, reviewing resumes, helping, with interview practice, things like that. And we created a community of mentors around us. Since then, we realized, it's been a couple of years since that happened. We realized very quickly that a lot of the challenges job seekers face are very repetitive, right? So somebody in January 2020 faced a specific set of problems, and maybe we helped them solve it, or maybe they, figured out how to do it. And somebody in January 2021 has the exact same problems, right? So we realized that maybe there's no, universal solution out there or universal pathway that's really helping job seekers. And with the advancements in AI that were coming up, this is pre-chat GPT. I was already working in the AI field at one of the FANG companies. So we kind of said, okay, a lot of what we are doing, as mentors, can we take that, can we consolidate that and build a platform and a solution that actually helps job seekers end to end in the job search process and leverages AI and technology to, at least take away 80% of the work that's required and repetitive. So that's how we built Careerflow AI. We've been around almost 2 years now. We've been quite successful. We have over 500,000 job seekers who have used our solution. So really proud of that fact. And we're doing a lot to grow and expand and help more job seekers.
Oh, that's great. And actually, you already have a nice traction. Okay, so let's talk more about job seekers nowadays. So, of course, there are many different AI tools, and they try
Mhm.
to use AI because our resume never been checked by people. Usually, the certain machine checked our resume, and we want to encourage and take advantage of the ChatGPT or AI tools and make machine working against the machine just to get the job. And yes, can you explain, please, what are very common mistakes people doing right now when they are in the process of job hunting?
Yeah, so I mean, in the process of job hunting, I think there's, one is it's very different depending on who you are, what background you have, what level of experience, what industry. There's obviously, depending on these things, many things that can change, but very high level, assuming the lowest common denominator. There's kind of two or three strategies, right? One is you apply to jobs online. You find a job posting, you apply to it. The second strategy is you network, you find hiring managers. And the third strategy is you build your profile so well that people actually come find you. These are very high level, the three ways you can look for work. And the most common mistake most people make is they just stick to the, most obvious strategy, which is just go and apply to jobs online. Even within that, now that's a whole process in itself, right? How do I find which jobs actually I'm a fit for? How do I even know if I'm a fit? If I am a fit, but it doesn't seem like I'm a fit, how do I make myself look like a fit? Right? And there's all these questions, and then, how many jobs should I apply to, or where are the jobs that I want? All these questions, and there's strategies to it. And then how do I keep track of which jobs I applied to? Because if I'm applying to, 10, 20 jobs a day, I may not remember a week from now which jobs I already applied for. So these are some common like challenges people face, and the mistake, especially as it relates to AI, and the use of AI in the job search technology, we find often is that people will, leverage AI tools like, let's say, ChatGPT, for example, to help them build a cover letter, right? And ChatGPT is really good at, creative writing. But the problem is if you just use that at face value, right? So if I just said, hey, write me cover letter for this job, it will provide you something. But whether that something is a good, whether it's realistic, right? That means whether it's telling the truth about your background, and whether the other person who reads that cover letter, is it obvious to them that this was written by an AI tool? So these are all things that people don't often take into account, and so they're using some general AI tools like ChatGPT, etc., and getting very low quality results, which, as a hiring manager, because I'm also hiring all the time, you can see now there's two kinds of cover letters. There's three kinds actually. There's one is no cover letter. They just didn't take the effort to do it. And that's depends on the hiring manager. That's maybe okay or maybe not. The other is you can tell that they put a lot of effort, or they've personalized the cover letter specifically to why you should hire that person. And it may be AI, it may not be AI, that doesn't matter. But the third one is the one where it's really obvious they copy paste something from ChatGPT and it's so generic that it's like it's worse than, having no cover letter.
Yeah, this is a very interesting, great insights. So first common mistake that people do the job search process very randomly. They do not systemize, they do not remember what they've been applying. They do not remember if somebody's replying back, they have no idea what was the job position.
Yeah.
They do not remember the description, and they have no like tracking system. So but job searching process very reminds like sales process. You try to sell
Yes.
yourself, and you need a CRM system just to see
Correct.
how you manage this process. And the second point, that people do not know the perspective of hiring manager, how the hiring manager see you, description, see your about me section, about your workflow, about your cover letter. And this is a very important to understand that this is gonna read a real person, not just machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's very important to think about it.
Right, right. And just to, add some more color on the first point, like for the CRM, kind of having a CRM for your job search. We at Careerflow, we've actually built a whole job application tracking, networking tracking system that's integrated through the Chrome browser, into all the different job sites. So, maintaining a CRM, and that was part of what I was saying, is like we wanted to be that end-to-end co-pilot. So one of the things we did was, whichever job posting site you're on, LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, it doesn't matter. We will show you how you match that job based on your resume, right? And then you can save that job to your CRM, and then you can track it across the application stages. So that's something, we found that has been very useful to help job seekers. And you pointed it out very rightly, Anna, that job search is actually like a sales process. There's like, it's a funnel, right? There's a top of funnel, which is all the jobs I can apply to. Then there's like the middle of the funnel, and ultimately at the end of the funnel, you want an offer. So I do agree with that.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Can you explain what else your AI tool can do for the job seekers? How exactly your tool can help people who are looking for a job?
Yeah, sure. So again, the job search process, as you mentioned, it's like a sales process. So there's various stages to the funnel. So at the top of the funnel, we help job seekers to write a really tailored cover letter and resume for specific jobs, as well as update their LinkedIn profile, optimize their LinkedIn profile. So on the LinkedIn example, we've seen about 300,000 people use our LinkedIn profile optimization to date. And we found that on average, if you optimize your score, we created this scoring system from 30 to 70 plus, you will actually double the amount of recruiters who see your LinkedIn profile on average. So that's a crazy statistic, but that tells you that just by following a method, right, and doing a certain set of best practices and having a system to help you identify what those best practices are leads to outsized results. On the resume and cover letter front, we actually have an AI powered resume builder. So, all the problems that people usually face with like Microsoft Word or other resume editing software, we've tried to solve it. For example, you take any existing resume that you have, or a LinkedIn, or just a blank template, and we will transform that to an ATS, applicant tracking system friendly template, which means that we've identified that these templates are readable by all of these resume parsing systems. So that's number one. It just gets transformed into the right templates. Second is we have an analysis which tells you again top to bottom for, maybe you forgot to add your phone number. So it will tell you that, hey, your resume is missing the contact information. Or maybe in one of the work experience, you forgot to add the dates. So it will catch that and tell you, hey, you forgot to add the dates for this. So just analysis things like this, like, if you're having more than 20 years of experience, it will point out like, hey, you don't need to put the date of your graduation. It's not necessary for senior folks, et cetera, et cetera. So there's all these analysis points, number one. So that makes it really easy to go from like 0 to 99. At least you don't have mistakes in your resume. You're following all the best practices. You have a great format. Now, second is more on the customization aspect. One of the challenges with Microsoft Word for everyone has always been changing margins, changing font size, things like that. So in the Careerflow resume builder, you can literally just slide a slider and it will change the margins perfectly. So no need to edit anything. Similarly, you can change the fonts, spacing, all those things.
Yes, and you make it more humanized tone of voice, yeah? Just
Correct. And so that's the other part is, so once you've kind of figured out the basics, now for all the content you've written in the resume, we actually help you rewrite it. So we use an AI system where we provide examples of, okay, this is what you wrote. Here's ways you can rewrite it, target it to this job title or target it to this job description. And we provide reason. So for example, maybe you said, I made an e-commerce project, right? And you're looking for a project management job. So our system might suggest something along the lines of, I worked in an agile team of X number of people to build an e-commerce project using certain set of technologies. And I delivered this project within 3 months. Something that's just an example, but it might give you a more robust way of writing the same thing. And it will provide a reason. The reason it will say is, you're applying for agile project management role. So that's why I suggested to use the word agile. So things
yeah.
like that.
Yes, sometimes you like when you start to feel the or tailor your resume, you know what you've been doing, but you do not know these buzzwords, how to call
Yeah.
it more attractive for the hiring manager, and you
Yeah.
do not know that, oh, I can call it using these very beautiful phrases, and it looks
Yeah.
very professional because of the lack of vocabulary.
Correct.
we are not HRs, unfortunately. Yes, and you mentioned that, for example, about experience, 20 years, or graduation. The problem is that when you do everything manually, it takes more than 1 hour just to tailor
Yeah.
one resume, and people feel tired because it take so much energy. You have to think. It's like writing essay in after 2 or 3 cover like resume, you feel tired and you just send 3 resume per day because you just can't create more, and people like, hey, why I'm doing this if there is no guarantee that I will get
Yeah.
this job? So they will
Right.
be very demotivating.
I agree with that, and that's, part of the challenge, and but that's also a mistake, right? Is like it is demotivating to not hear back, but also if you don't do the right approach, you're not going to hear back even more. So you do kind of have to go through that. But our job or our task is to make that process as easy and simple as possible. So again, in our Chrome extension, you see the job, you see the keywords that you need to add. You click a button, optimize resume. It will take you to the resume editor. You can make some quick edits, save, and you're done. Typically takes less than 5 minutes. We're also in beta with the feature where you click a button and it will look at the job description and automatically add those keywords in your resume that you're missing. So it can, take you from like 0 to 100 very fast. And this is especially useful if, let's say, Anna, you already built a resume that's really good, but now you have to tailor, few words here and there for every job. So that's something that it just does it in a matter of seconds, and it's like automatically done for you.
Yeah, so you can send like hundreds resume per day, and it like instead of couple of per day. So I have a last question, like last question, and I want to like, people sometimes feel very demotivated right now, especially the news about layoffs, and especially people who've been working in at fine companies for many years, and right now they are in the job market, and they become a job seekers, and they feel very lost and frustrated. What are free advices you can give people who are looking for a job right now?
So, I mean, in the job search, the biggest challenge is to stay motivated, right? So, the advice I would give is to, do your best to stay motivated. We know it's a frustrating experience. We know that it's, especially in the current, scenario with all the layoffs, it's also very stressful. But stick in there, right? There's tons of free content that's available outside there when it comes to how to use, the general AI tools like ChatGPT effectively, or how to use specific AI tools like Careerflow that's built specifically for you. In fact, we post a lot of this free content on Instagram and LinkedIn, daily basis, and we post a lot of motivational content as well, just to keep job seekers, motivated. The other thing is once you start following a process, right, you will find one of few things happen. One is that you will quickly identify your gaps so that you can work on the gaps. And two is you'll be able to clearly see what's working and what's not working. So let's say, for example, for somebody, networking is actually working really well. Then if I see that, I can just do more networking and not spend my time, online job applications. Another example could be that maybe if I apply to jobs which is asking for less than 5 years of experience, I'm getting the call from the recruiter, but otherwise I'm not. So then maybe I should focus on more similar types of jobs. So again, keeping track and having a system helps you really understand what to focus on, and that will again reduce the time it takes to reach your end goal, which is to get that offer, get that job.
Okay, thank you so much. Keep motivating. This is the key factor of keep going and find the dream job. Thank you so much, Puneet. If you want to find more information about Careerflow AI, you can find the link below the video. And also, if you have any suggestions or any ideas, you can write Puneet directly to the LinkedIn. We will leave the link if you do not mind, of course.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm very approachable on LinkedIn. I would suggest put a personalized message if you reach out so that I know why you're reaching out, but
This
that's
is
fine.
another tip. This is another tip. So, and guys, thank you so much. Just keep motivate yourself. My big advice, just go walking, go hiking, go on sport, because when you move your body, it really helps you and it brings you joy, and it gives you energy to keep going. Thank you so much, Puneet. I'm really happy to talk to you, and thank you so much for the great tool you are working on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.